clearly Warner Brothers losing money. I had no idea that they were working on a Wonder Woman video game. Right? Like, we kind of mentioned this before the show. Like, this game, it was going to fail because nobody had any idea it was coming down the line. You see this all the time. We're crafting a great story. Well, it's going to be a great story. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it was coming, and Wonder Woman isn't exactly like relevant in 2025. I would say. I don't know, Arch. You were talking about that.
That's the complicated thing, right? Because technically, theoretically, DC has its three main pillars, which is Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. But nobody ever gives Wonder Woman any attention whatsoever. She doesn't have a whole lot of movies, animated films, shows, games. Yes, 0 games, in fact, I think. But does she? Does she even have a game? I mean, she's not given any attention. I think it's because she's not really functional in today's day and age. Because Wonder Woman was, well, partially she's intended to be kind of like a, how do I put it? Like a reverse Superman is how I like to describe her. Because Superman obviously had Lois Lane who got into trouble and Superman would fly and rescue her. That was a key part of his character. Wonder Woman is the opposite, where she has Steve Trevor, the World War II veteran whom she saves, and she has to go rescue him as he's infiltrating Nazi secret scientist bases and so on. It's actually a kind of good trope, I think. I like the idea of it, but you can't really have a character today whose personality revolves around a man or a relationship. And so Wonder Woman has always been kept aside from all of the other characters. And when she is developed in a romantic direction, it's usually really, really poorly done. So and without that, and without Greek mythology, which is almost never used either with Wonder Woman, she's just Superman, but female.
Right. That's a good question. Chat, is Wonder Woman relevant in 2025? Because I know there was and Blabs, you pulled that up. Go ahead.
Well, no, this is Arch. Arch has this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. I mean, technically, this is supposed to be the third pillar of their franchise, but they sure as hell aren't treating her as such.
No.
I think that, they had the movies a couple years ago, the first Wonder Woman movie, which performed really well. Then they did Wonder Woman 84, which, if I recall, that kind of flopped.
I didn't like that. I mean, I didn't even really particularly like the first movie, although I loved the twist in it. It had an excellent twist. But again, like they're not focusing in on her at all. So, I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure Harley Quinn is more popular than she is.
I don't disagree with you on that. I really don't. I don't disagree with you on that at all. I think that you may be right about that. Blabs, we have this post over here from Savvy. What's going on with this?
She's just been looking at some of the people working on Wonder Woman. Now, I haven't been able to have like a thorough read yet, but it might actually be worth looking at all those screenshots that these are the people who were supposedly working on it.
If you can read this as Savvy, that'd be great. Go ahead, fire away.
Okay. Well, I feel like I should be like hiding from the sun right now.
That's
okay.
right.
Decide to have a peek at the people who were let go yesterday, and I'm surprised at the number of writers working on Wonder Woman. Too many cooks in the kitchen is how you end up with narratives that don't make sense and feel like HR was over your shoulder. This is a small mix of them, but quite a few writers. Also, EA is apparently silently letting people go. Found one in this mess from only a week ago. Anyway, Cypher has obviously made threats around celebrations, but I don't see anyone really celebrating. They're just pointing out, do a bad job and focus on the wrong things, and you're going to get cut. She's very much the same person who likes to use idle threats to get away, and this is no different. You're not tough, Cypher. You're an adult. You're a sad adult who relies on threats. But who were the others? So this is Cypher, to be found elsewhere. Yes, the news is true. I'm a free agent open to opportunities. Almost 2 years pouring my heart into Wonder Woman game. #RIP Monolith Productions. I fucking refuse to share that ghoul's article, and do not send it to me if you value not being verbally flayed to the bone. Any of you motherfuckers say a fucking word about us deserving it, I will come for you. Do not try it with me or any of my colleagues. Sword emojis. I'm logging off for a bit and try to process this news. GIF.
Okay.
I will come for you, but I'm leaving the internet right now. Well,
It seems counterproductive.
you seem to have sucked an entire company dry, Cypher. Maybe some introspection could be in order.
I have a question. If you're a writer for a game, right? Why are you spending 2 years like this? Maybe I don't understand this about the process of a giant AAA title like this. When you have a game like this, shouldn't the story be the first thing that's done so you can craft everything around that story? And why are you, if you're a writer, why are you still there 2 years later? Shouldn't the idea is I write the game, right? I create the narrative, and then everything is built around that narrative. Why are you still there 2 years later? It seems
Probably
more like
endless rewrites.
that's the thing. I mean, maybe, but like, doesn't that seem very ass backwards? You know, the idea that if you're,
It does, but what if like there's somebody above them saying, I don't like this, redo this part, redo that part, and then when they're constantly being told redo, then things don't flow anymore. Like, well, if we redo this, we have to redo that. So either that or like as Savvy's saying, too many cooks in the kitchen, nothing is flowing. There's people who aren't even supposed to be writers writing, you know, like they're not skilled at writing. I feel like it could be a combination of all the above where management is just like overbearing as well.
Right, but once again, shouldn't you finalize the story before anything else, regardless of rewrites and stuff? You get all the rewrites done. Like that should be the first preliminary side of it. You get the story done to completion, then you start everything else.
I would say so, but maybe they can work on the basics of things, like basic features, graphics, things like that they could just start working on that would normally take a while. Maybe that's what they were trying to do. Maybe crunch time. Again, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I don't know.
Right.
I also suspect, because I'm with you, like with this on Craig, you should finish 98% of this. And if there are changes, sure, like things don't go as you think, you need to rewrite this part, add in some dialogue, all of that makes sense, right? But I think a lot of this also comes from just not knowing how to write this character. Because we're sitting here, it's like, we don't really know if she's relevant. And there's a lot of problems with writing specifically female characters in the current day to not just make them into either the strong woman, of which that is exactly one in modern writing, or to try to change her and then running up against the character and going like, well, I'm ruining the character now. I mentioned Harley Quinn. I just finished recording like an hour-long video on her and how they've ruined her again and again because they try to separate her from the Joker. They don't understand what makes Harley Quinn appealing, and so they keep writing themselves in circles, going like, well, this ruins the character. Shit, okay. Go back. Okay, there we go again. Oh, fuck, now we're still ruining her. And it just goes because they don't want to accept that some characters have bases that aren't current year politics. I mean, Wonder Woman is from 1940s. Like trying to make her fit into the political paradigm of today is dumb and wasteful.
Well, there's more here from Savvy. If we want to kind of take a further glance on this, Blabs, I'll let you be Savvy's voice here.
We know the model of today isn't the same as yesterday, but I'd say the focus and hiring practices really brought on some interesting characters. Now, obviously, we look at the profiles, BLM, stop, AAPI hate, Perispera, Ad Astra, do not obey in advance, she, they. I spoke with trans and gender queer developers about working in games. That sounds like a priority. Yeah, next.
Okay.
Howdy, I'm Ellie. I'm a narrative designer at Monolith working on Wonder. I'm all about diverse game storytelling, game academia. Feel welcome to add if is your jam. So the only thing wrong there is like diverse games with the, you know, the gender agenda there. But yeah.
There you go. A neurodivergent sage, an ex-mortician. That's good.
Feral altruist? She's a feral altruist. Yeah. You don't want to mess with Ellie.
I don't even know what that is.
She's insane.
Make magic. Yeah, no, like these people. You cannot convince me for even a solitary nanosecond that these people would ever put their politics aside to write something that might sell.
Let's continue, Blabs.
Gaiman is seldom actually their focus. It's fine to like Avowed, but if they consider it's well written, they're not very high on the talent list when it comes to judging quality writing. Avowed is objectively barren with embarrassing writing, benefited of a 12-year-old scene fanfiction the first time. These people always put their identities first. They have no passion in actual storytelling. We have the Nathan guy, and he's like a systemic narrative designer, quest designer, he, him. Yeah. Then Nathan says, this is just an Avowed Stan account now. What? Who does that? You're an adult. Who does Stan accounts as an adult? I understand, like, teenagers, they're all about that. But if you're an adult, I think you might have some issues. Alex is she, her, trans, maybe? Not really sure. Views are his, hers, own. Wow. With the news of Wonder Woman's cancellation and closure of Monolith, I must unfortunately add my voice to growing chorus of writers. Blah, 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 blah. Now just looking for another job. Cool.
I'm Alex, she, her. I'm a queer screenwriter for live action, animation, and video games.
Great resume.
All right. Go hire Alex. Then we have Jennifer here. Let's continue.
Jennifer was a sad one to scroll through, and I hope she gets the help she needs. But she admits her focus is social justice. So that's an interesting one, I guess. I'm absolutely certain her love of that can be put on hold for writing. And Jennifer Alloway, senior writer, she, her, formerly Hidden Path. Okay, nothing terribly wrong, just pronouns. Hi everyone, I'm Jen. I make games and have done so for 10 years. I've done everything from little board game work to indie darlings to popular mobile narrative titles, and now I work in AAA. Follow if you like. Sociology, social justice, thoughts on narrative and games, a cute dog.
Why is it always the eyes? Always the eyes.
Always the crazy eyes, man.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Jennifer says, just canceled my Prime. Probably going to pick up a Costco card since they also deliver and reject the anti-DEA bullshit.
There we go. Jennifer, what a smart person. Oh, here we go. And then we got this over here. Let's see.
You have so much more time than you think you do. The best thing you can teach yourself is how to fuck up. In particular, how to move forward in the fucking up part and not let it paralyze you, but still learn the lesson. Be kind, especially when it's hard, but make sure your cup is full.
She's retweeting over here.
Langon is canceling gender and affirming cares for trans youth under 19s. So this person is pro-child mutilation. Shout out.
Be kind. Mutilate a child.
Yes.
Oh,
Luther is a he, she, they.
Wow.
40 on Maine. Wow.
All right. This is good.
To the Wonder Woman fans, I'm sorry this happened. We were making something truly special, and you'd have loved it. I wish you could have walked the shores of them? Is that supposed to say that? Is that like some land for the genders? To the games industry folks, anyone looking for senior quest designer with narrative experience? Not you.
Wow. Sorry, Luther.
When you pass someone in the streets and give them the nod and they don't do it back, whatever have I done to make you treat me so disrespectfully? They set up a snitch line for DEI in the federal government. If you feel like sending your best copies of the B-movie script or some queer smut, have at it. And there's the email.
It's good. Good for Luther there.
How much does she do? Holy moly.
This is very savvy here.
Yeah.
This is very savvy. Well, look, that's really all we need to know. We know
I think so. They're insane. The end.
Right. And how many of, how are you supposed to write about Wonder Woman when you can't describe yourself as a woman?
Right. You don't even know what a woman is.
If you're a he, she, they, how the hell are you supposed to write about just a her? Just throwing it out there.
Again, Wonder Woman is literally defined by one, being from a completely different political and social paradigm, as in ancient Greece with lesbian superpowers, and two, her relationship with Steve Trevor. Like, if all you care about is social justice, you cannot write this character. It's impossible.
I mean, they could always, as Lasus came in, says, Wonder Type B.
Wonder Type B, yes.
Hey, you made it this far. You might as well subscribe, right? Right?